Welcome to the first steps tutorial of Apparo Fast Edit. In this tutorial you see how to do the first steps with this product. Here Apparo is integrated into Qlik Sense. You need a running Qlik Sense environment and a running Apparo installation. The first task is to finish the configuration of Apparo. All Apparo extensions are already installed in Qlik Sense and therefore we are able to run the Apparo designer. Create a new Qlik Sense app and edit the first sheet. Now look into the custom objects and move Apparo designer button into your sheet. This button is the way to open the Apparo designer. You see now an empty environment. There are no clients installed, no business cases, the whole system is empty. Time for creating the first client. A client is a separated environment with own optical definitions, own languages and own security. It is helpful if you have different departments and they want to work in an independent way. Press the New button and define the name of this client. The setting client security groups is defining the necessary security groups for an user. If the user is member of these security groups, then this user is able to run business cases of this client. Apparo can use all security groups that are known by your Qlik Sense installation. Now we can look into this new client. Here you can define the visible name of this client and logo. In the tab Languages we can import the usable languages. A client is supporting parallel many different languages and it is even possible to define a new language. In this example we just use English. Tab access rights will be very important for you. Here you can define the necessary security groups that are necessary for being a designer, being able to export business cases and so on. Automatic table creation means, the designer user can be able to create own database tables and columns in the designer. The default setting is, it is not allowed. But this feature can be very comfortable. The business log is storing all user activities, like running a business or export data into your own database table. The last two tabs are helpful if you want to change the colors of the designer and of your business cases. The idea is to define the colors once and then all business cases are using these colors automatically. Your first client is here and we can create our first business case too. A business case need normally a connection to a relational database because Apparo can read from and write to a relational database table or view. Therefore we define first a new database connection. If you know how to define a database connection in Qlik Sense, then you can do that in Apparo too. In tab Advanced you can see additional settings. You can see for each setting a detailed description because I have enabled the description mode with the green button on the right side. What is a business case? A business case can be a form or combination of forms or something totally different. It can be a logic that is catching emails that are containing Excel data. Or something that is sending emails to an user. In the detailed description you can find a link to a movie too. Please press the New button for your first business case. Here you see the possible types of business cases. In this example we define a simple table business case. Here you see the feature window. It contains all possible features for this business case. You can enable and disable a feature. Your advantage: all features that you don't need are disabled and therefore hidden in the normal usage view. The designer for your business case is hiding all unnecessary features and is therefore much easier to use. Of course, you can enable a feature later again. It is just a mouse click. That's the typical user interface of the designer. On the left side you see the features, and from left to right to see the details of this current feature. Right upper side, the feature button. With this button you can enable or disable other features. Here we see a list of widget. A widget is an element that is displaying data and is often able to store data too. Each widget has many settings and can be really powerful. Because Apparo is changing data, it is necessary to have a primary key. A primary key is identifying a single data row. At the moment this business case has no primary key. Therefore I define the key with some mouse clicks. Let us go through the tabs. In tab header and footer you can define titles, logos and other texts. For example, if some columns must be fixed columns like in Excel and so on. Tab linking to Qlik Sense App is very important. Here you can link the business case to your current Qlik Sense App. You have different possibilities. You can use a button or showing the business case directly in the Qlik Sense App and so on. I'm copying now the business case ID of this form. This ID is unique and will be used later in Qlik Sense. Jump back to the Qlik Sense App. Enter the editing mode and add a new widget Apparo business case. I paste the ID into it and now we see the business case output. Let us add a filter into this business case. We want to display all data rows with status equals 1 only. The syntax check button is very helpful if you use complex definitions. You can use variables here too. Pressing now the run button and we can see the results. Another improvement, changing the product column to a lookup widget. The user can select later the product name and the product ID will be stored into this column. Next step. Adding a comment field that is supporting colors and enumerations too. How to add features into this business case. Imagine the user want to enter data and these changes should be used in the Qlik Sense app too. That means it is necessary to refresh the app automatically after changes. Therefore I enable the refresh features. It is just a mouse click. For the output I want to use a button in the Qlik Sense app. Therefore I move the Apparo button into my app and enter the business case ID.